Update for you. There is a lot, so I'm going to try to make this as concise as possible because the way that Kyle Shanahan delivered it at the Greenbrier in West Virginia was kind of long and rambling, and there are some roster moves, there are some injury moves, there are some guys kind of practicing, there's some guys not practicing, not a whole lot of detail on some of the counts, and basically it's all obfuscated unless we make it nice and simple. So I have the roster ready for you right here. This is what we can use to keep track of it. So I'll have this on the screen, by the way. If you want to keep track of that roster while I talk, you can also do that. Chat section right now. Check out the link and let's go through some of the 49ers news. But a lot of color coding because we need a lot of color coding with all this stuff going on. First off, maybe we go good news first, right? Ty Davis Price is back at practice Wednesday after his high ankle sprain, but there isn't much more good news on top of that. And for that, we can start going through the list. Nick Bosa with his groin issue, Robbie Gould with his knee contusion. Both of those guys are out of Wednesday's practice. That's on top of the obvious ones that we've already reported plenty of. Emmanuel Moseley done for the season with his torn ACL. And you have Jimmie Ward, who underwent surgery for a broken hand, which he suffered on the opening kickoff of the game against Carolina. Jimmie Ward might be able to play with a club on his hand, although the 49ers will not be able to determine that for about 10 days. So he had the surgery yesterday. Give it 10 days, which is going to be right before the Kansas City game. Then they will evaluate if Jimmie Ward can put on a club that can allow him to play. That would be right for the Kansas City game. So there's a chance that Jimmie Ward will be back for 49ers Chiefs, but we just don't know yet. So if you want to take a look at this in big, this is what the roster situation looks like. I have right down here Jimmie Ward highlighted in this safety section. I have him in pink, so we'll see. He's not going to go on IR a second time because there still is a chance in 10 days that he plays immediately. But with Bosa out and also with Samson Ebukam, who has Achilles tendonitis from the turf also out, Shanahan should emphasize this. Didn't make the Ebukam thing sound all that serious. I know Achilles sounds scary, but Shanahan said it was just a little bit of tendonitis from the turf. But with Ebukam also out, the 49ers' entire defensive line starting defensive line is not practicing today. And you could see that by the pink shading over here. Bosa out with the groin tightness. Armstead still out with the foot issue. Javon Kinlaw still out with the knee issue. Samson Ebukam out with some Achilles tendonitis from playing on that artificial turf. That means that it's these 8 guys plus Alex Barrett, 9 players who could suit up for the 49ers at practice, but none of them are first stringers. Obviously, yesterday the 49ers signed this guy, T.Y. McGill, and that means immediate action to fill in for T.Y. McGill, the defensive tackle who played for Minnesota this preseason. Also today, limited sessions for Aaron Banks, who also has some tendonitis issues from the turf. That's the knee tendonitis issue, but he'll be limited. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, is back at practice, and we'll take a look at the roster in a second. Jalen Moore, left tackle, third stringer, has a hamstring issue. He'll be limited, so he'll be at practice, but limited with that. And Danny Gray has an illness, so he'll be limited as well. If you want to take a look at Kroft, he's been out here for a while. He's behind Kittle on that tight end depth chart, so the 49ers will welcome him back. They'll also welcome Ty Davis Price back to practice without a limitation, so I could actually remove Ty Davis Price from the pink color coding. I'll keep Kroft there since he's still limited. And Tarvarius Moore, I didn't list him on the title, but Tarvarius Moore, who's down here, you can see down here, Tarvarius Moore, the safety who's had a hamstring issue, will also be back at practice in a limited fashion for the 49ers today. If you want a full look at the injuries, they're on this Google Doc. You can go to the list, which I keep updated on a day-to-day basis. Tyler Kroft, for example, we can update to this row, returned to practice on 10/12, but only in a limited fashion. So I'm not going to put him in green just yet because we're waiting for Kroft to come back full. I do have Ty Davis Price up here highlighted in green. He suffered the high ankle sprain against the Seahawks on September 18th, but he returned to practice on December 12th. So the newish entries here, Bosa, obviously Moseley, done for the season. We can even highlight Moseley in red because this is going to be your typical season ender. So I highlight that one in dark red. Believe that color right there. Yeah, that works. Emmanuel Mosley, Jimmie Ward, 49ers hope he's back in 2 weeks. If not, then it will be a little bit longer with the broken hand. Depends on if he can play with the club. Robbie Gould, the 49ers have signed a kicker. I talked about that yesterday. We'll go to that in a second. And Samson Ebukam, 49ers hope that he's back just within a day or two with the Achilles tendonitis. Although anytime you say the word Achilles, it doesn't sound particularly good. All right, there's been a role swap. I told you guys this was coming yesterday. This is why you should watch the channel. The 49ers, after releasing Marlon Mack from the 53-man roster, a day later, they added him to the practice squad, and they moved Tevin Coleman. They promoted Tevin Coleman from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. This is simple. Tevin Coleman has been playing. Marlon Mack hasn't. Coleman deserves the money. In fact, for the 53-man, the veteran minimum for Tevin Coleman is going to be about $60,000 per game. The practice squad was only about $20K per game. Marlon Mack, who was making the higher amount before for not playing, while Coleman was making the lower amount, he's now making the lower amount. So pay cut in effect for Marlon Mack down to 20 versus 60K, and it's flopped for Tevin Coleman. So simple switcheroo there. Like I said, doesn't have anything to do with Ty Davis-Price, but Ty Davis-Price is back at practice for the 49ers. So if you want to look at how that looks roster-wise right now, just go to the running back room up here. Your top guy is Wilson. Then you have, I'm going to switch Tevin Coleman with Jordan Mason. That's actually a little bit of a oversight right now. Tevin Coleman there at second string. And Jordan Mason probably just third string. So we probably put Jordan Mason down here. And we put Ty Davis-Price over here. Make him nice and big font. Oops, one smaller right there. So, and then I know all you Excel aficionados are upset that I didn't use a special paste command, but there's too much going on right now to ask that much of me. So I'm just going to do it manually. And there we go. Jordan Mason, bottom highlight or bottom underline. There we go. Jordan Mason's a running back, not a fullback, but he's in the fullback row. So right now, 49ers running back room, you have Jeff Wilson, Tevin Coleman, Ty Davis-Price, Jordan Mason with Marlon Mack on the practice squad. They have elevation capabilities for Marlon Mack, but Ty Davis-Price and especially Tevin Coleman, that's the big one, making more money than him. That is the 49ers roster swap, the role spot at running back. Again, the two new players that the 49ers signed the other day are the kicker, Sam Sloman, 5'8", 205-pounder. They can elevate him for the practice squad in case Robbie Gould, who's currently not at practice and therefore should be highlighted in pink, is not ready to go. And T.Y. McGill, who looks likely to get some early action for the 49ers since all four starting defensive linemen are out of practice on Wednesday. All right, that was crazy. It took me 8 minutes to go through the whole injury roster situation, but hopefully this is a good summary for you. We will talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching.